Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Friday the 15th of March 2024. In today's Millwall news, plenty of interviews and a match report from the under-21s game. But we start off with this from the londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall's points return under Neil Harris means they can play with element of freedom at Leeds United. Neil Harris is looking forward to taking Millwall to Ellen Road on Sunday. With his recent visits to Leeds United normally anything but quiet affairs. The Lions legends' last two matches there in his previous spells Den Bosch saw 12 goals scored. That includes an epic 4-3 win over the Yorkshire club in January 2018 with late goals from Tom Elliott and Jed Wallace settling a thriller. Harris also drew 3-3 there with Cardiff City, his next stop after leaving Millwall, fighting back from trailing 3-0 before the hour mark. Leeds, currently second in the Championship table, have the best home record in the division with 14 wins, 4 draws and 0 defeats. Millwall are 5 points clear of the bottom three. And my side never goes anywhere with any fear, head coach Harris told the South London Press. So we're not going to go with any fear to Leeds. I said after the game against Birmingham last weekend that 10 points from 4 games earned us the right to go and play with an element of freedom. And I think any Millwall fan understands what I mean by that. I mean, there was a little bit of pressure relieved from an individual game, although we're not chasing a single result in a fixture, and we can go and express ourselves in our own right. Leeds are flying at the top of the division, and we are flying in the lower mid reaches of the division. Both teams want a result. I look at my group, and I think that individually they've played extremely well, and collectively we've been very, very good. We're a difficult side to play against at the moment. 4 opposition managers have commented about how organised, structured and difficult we are. We're not a nice team to play against at the moment, and that's what we have to be at Ellen Road. All I'll ask of my players on Sunday is to be the best that they can be individually, and be the best Millwall team that they can be, and that's enough for me, and that's enough for the fans. When you go into games like this, you also need that element of luck as well. Ultimately, Leeds have got an excellent record and have a very talented side, but they're there to be shot at, and that's our aim. When the Lions shaded their 2018 clash with Leeds, it was the second fixture of a 17-game unbeaten run that took them to the brink of the playoffs. The sequence ended by a Fulham side that triumphed 3-0 at the Den and went on to win promotion at Wembley. Asked where that victory over United rated in his career, Harris said, "Well, if I went through my top 10 matches as a player and as a manager for Millwall Football Club, there would be 3 or 4 in each column against Leeds. I love playing at Ellen Road as a player. I've been victorious there in playoff semi-finals, and I love playing them at the Den. The atmosphere that both sets of fans generate is electric. As a manager, I've had some fantastic games against them as well, against Marcelo Bielsa teams, where I've been very fortunate to come out the right side of most of them. The 4-3 was a standout fixture because of the nature of the win, and it was our first away win of the season, and I hope this one is memorable for the same reasons. I like playing at Ellen Road. I love the big club mentality. I love the noise of the crowd. And I love our fans at Ellen Road. For whatever reason, it brings out the best in my Millwall teams." Fantastic stuff there from Millwall manager. And we also have this. This is from the southernnews.co.uk. Mill boss reveals how 4-3 win at Leeds from 2018 changed how he approached away games ahead of Ellen Road return. With Millwall and Leeds both in good form, the stage is set for another engaging contest between 2 old rivals. So obviously they talk about that 4-3 game, but then we have a quote which is it's a different quote. It proved to be a key moment in Harris's third full season in charge at Millwall during his original tenure as manager. He told the News at Den, "It was a fantastic occasion, just a real rough and tumble game. It ebbed and flowed 2 ways with goals, red cards, tackles, and it was a late winner for us. The biggest thing was that we hadn't been exceptional at home that year and struggled on the road and hadn't won away. So we just mixed up a few bits pre-game and took the focus away from the intensity of the match for a more relaxed feel. We changed up how we trained and how we travelled, and we didn't look back after that. We didn't lose for the next 4 months away from home. We just adjusted slightly what we done, what we ate, and how we went about it, and afterwards it shows the importance of the mental side of it. And after that game, the preparation taught me a lot about adjusting. For 2 or 3 years, I was quite set in my ways of how I approach games, and you have to be adaptable. It was a big moment at the time, but we're in a different place as a group, and we don't need to change it up going into this match, but it was a great day for all. And that's the sort of character and desire you need when you go into Ellen Road." So there you go. Moving on to a more detailed injury report. We mentioned it in yesterday's video, but we've got this. So this is from southernnews.co.uk. A 2 Millwall striker set to see specialists to get update on injuries, while Idomi Omaku begins rehabilitation from quad issue. Neil Harris has given an injury briefing ahead of Sunday's trip to Leeds United. Adomio Mako has begun his rehabilitation from injury as he targets a return to football next month, while two of his teammates are set to see specialists. Tom Bradshaw and Kevin Nisbet will both spend more time on the sidelines after picking up long-term issues that is likely to keep them out until the closing weeks of the season. But Millwall boss Neil Harris is planning to send them both off to medical appointments next week to get a better idea of return dates. Speaking in his pre-match press conference ahead of the trip to Leeds United on Sunday, Harris said, the three attacking players that have been injured in Kevin Nisbet and Tom Bradshaw and Adomio Mako, they're not returning this week and they won't be returning for Easter weekend either. But we were more hopeful after that. Tom and Kevin have specialist appointments next week to assess where they're at, and we're hoping they're going to be very positive and they're going to be continuing their fast development on the rehab to be back on the team sheet in some capacity sooner rather than later, certainly this season. And Adomio's first day back on the grass is today, and we're talking about a couple of weeks recovery from a quad injury, so Easter's probably too soon for him. Maybe more realistic to be Huddersfield onwards. The Lions have not picked up any fresh injury worries since the 1-0 win over Birmingham City last week, but Wes Harding has been unwell. Harris said he was hopeful the defender could rejoin the group by the weekend. So, moving on to player interviews. From the South London Press and London News Online. We're still in a precarious position. Mill defender Bryan refusing to get carried away by strong form. Mill's fortunes have taken a serious upturn since Neil Harris walked back through the door. But that doesn't mean that Joe Bryan is about to start taking championship survival as a given. Leonard Tangana's late winner in Saturday's home game against Birmingham City means the Lions have won 3 and drawn 1 since Harris replaced Joe Edwards as Millwall manager. The South Londoners have banked 10 points from 4 matches, including back-to-back successes on home turf. It has added a layer of respectability to what has been a woeful record in SC16. Millwall have lost 9 home league games, and the last time they crept into double figures was the 2014-15 campaign with 11. Asked if he felt the pressure going into some of the recent meetings with the likes of Southampton, Watford and Blackburn, the Blues, Bryan told the South London Press, of course, but that's good. We were in a precarious position, and I suppose we still are. We're not getting carried away yet and saying we've got out of relegation scrap, because if you look at the league, especially this season, it's incredible how tight it is. We need to enjoy the pressure, and that's the main thing in football. We're doing all right. We had an up and down season. The 10 points we picked up in the last 4 games has been brilliant. Mill have kept the 4th most clean sheets in the division, 12, behind Sunday's opponents Leeds with 17. West Bromwich Albion with 15 and Leicester City with 13. Matija Sarkic has been in goal for 8 of the Lions' shutouts, 5 at home and 3 on the road. We've kind of gone back to what as a club we're about, fighting and grit and determination, said Bryan. Twice a promotion winner from England's second tier with Fulham. We're not going to get too excited. We know how quickly things can change both ways in this league. Not conceding goals is something the club for a very long time has taken pride in, and that's the basis of a good team. So we've got the starting blocks. We just need to focus on scoring a few more goals and achieving at the other end of the pitch. Bryan joined Mill at the start of July after his Fulham contract expired. At the time, the South Londoners were still coming to terms with missing out on a playoff place on the final day of the 22-23 season. It seems safe to say that Bryan did not envisage that what lay in store with the Lions was a scrap to pull away from trouble. Oh no, definitely not, said the 30-year-old. But in this league, I don't think anything gets decided until the last 2 weeks of April because it's always so tight. We've been a bit disappointed with the way we've performed at times this season, but that's all we can do now with 9 games left, is to pick up as many points as we can and to get the club into a comfortable place. Mill's resurgence under Harris is set for a stern scrutiny by a Leeds side that are in second automatic promotion spot. All the atmosphere there is always good, said Bryan. It's always a very, very tough place to go, but one we will relish. You like playing at places that are proper English football grounds. We enjoy those kind of fights. The start of the Lions' unbeaten run started at Southampton, another club who were in the top flight until the start of this campaign. In this league, especially, you can't ever go and fear a team, said Bryan. Myself as a defender, I will defend as best as I can and attack as best as I can. Run around. If all 11 players of ours do that, then we might come away with a result, and we might not. That's just the way football works, isn't it? We can only go in with no fear and try our best to win the match. I was defensively happy with how I performed against Birmingham. I'm always priding myself a little bit more if I can provide a solid defensive display and then add some attacking outlet. I didn't really get the chance to go forward. The first thing to do is get a clean sheet and be solid defensively. Their right winger, Miyoshi, is a dangerous player, and I think I did all right to lock him up. Luckily, Jaff nodded one in at the end. Exactly. And talking of that man, Japhet Tanganga, here we go. Japhet Tanganga not focused on Tottenham future as he concentrates on keeping up impressive performance level at Millwall. Yeah, he's been on fire, hasn't he? LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Japhet Tanganga is not giving away any thought to his long-term future as he prioritises delivering more big performances for Millwall. The Tottenham loanee scored the first goal after Neil Harris's return as boss last month in a 2-1 victory at Southampton, and Tanganga was in the right place at the right time, the 90th minute, to head home George Saville's corner and earn a 1-0 home win over Birmingham City on Saturday. The former England under-21 internationals' displays for the South London club since Harris was appointed manager have led to plenty in the club's fan base hoping a permanent move could be thrashed out in the summer. But Tanganga did not make a single appearance for Bundesliga side Augsburg in a loan that was aborted in January. He's happy to live in the moment. Oh, I haven't played a lot of football in a while, so that's my main focus, he told the South London Press. I got the chance to come to Millwall and do that. Whatever happens in the summer or later on, in a way, I don't really care about it because I'm focusing on now Millwall and getting the points we need to do as well as we can in the league. At the beginning, it was hard for me because I hadn't played enough games and I was trying to get up to the rhythm and find my feet. The thing for me with this loan was making sure I was available and playing football because I missed a lot of it at the start of the season, and that's the way it's going now. You also want the results.